Walk into a used car lot anywhere in America right now, and you'll see them sitting there. SUVs that once flew off the lot, now gathering dust behind the manager's special sign. The dealer's smiling, waving you over saying, "You can drive it home today for half the book price." Sounds tempting, right? But what they're not saying is that these same SUVs are the ones nobody wants anymore. Some lost half their value in just a few years. Others earned reputations for eating transmissions or burning oil faster than gas. And a few were once sold as luxury crossovers, until the repair bills started looking like mortgage payments. Dealers know these models are poison for resale, which is why they're practically giving them away. In this video, we're counting down 8 SUVs that US dealers can't move even with discounts, ads, or desperation. The ranking isn't random. It's based on 3 things that hit your wallet hardest: how fast they lose value, how expensive they are to fix, and how many people complained before 100,000 miles. So before you fall for a shiny price tag or a too-good-to-be-true trade-in deal, watch this first. Because if a dealer seems too eager to sell you something, it's usually for a reason. Let's start with a model that went from America's most popular family SUV to the poster child for broken transmissions and plummeting value: the Nissan Rogue. Number 8. Nissan Rogue. You can't drive through an American suburb without spotting a Nissan Rogue. They're everywhere. School pickups, Target parking lots, apartment complexes. This SUV once defined the modern family car. But now, dealers can't give them away fast enough. Why? Because under that safe, reliable image hides one of the most notorious transmissions in America: the Nissan CVT. Owners describe the same nightmare again and again: shuddering, whining, loss of power, and sudden breakdowns, often before 80,000 miles. One Ohio family told me their Rogue lost its transmission just 3 months after buying it used, $4,200 gone. The worst part? They replaced it, and it failed again a year later. Stories like that flood online forums and Carfax reports across the US. And while Nissan extended warranties and issued updates, the damage was done. Dealers know the reputation. They'll offer massive discounts or overhype minor features, anything to get one off the lot. But Americans have learned. A cheap Rogue today becomes an expensive headache tomorrow. Mechanics joke that every Rogue owner eventually becomes an expert in transmission warranties. And they're not wrong. If you ever wondered why that used Rogue's price seems too good to be true, it's because even the dealers are tired of explaining why. Next up, another GM family SUV that promised comfort and reliability, but turned out to be one of the fastest depreciating vehicles on US roads: the Chevrolet Equinox. The Chevrolet Equinox was meant to be America's family-friendly crossover. Simple, practical, and affordable. On paper, it ticked every box: roomy interior, smooth ride, decent gas mileage. But behind that friendly Chevy badge lurks one of the most problematic engines General Motors ever built: the 2.4-liter Ecotec. Owners across the US complain about oil disappearing faster than coffee on a Monday morning. Some engines burn a quart every 800 miles. Ignore it, and you're rewarded with seized pistons or a full engine replacement, often before 100,000 miles. Add in timing chain stretch, blown head gaskets, and failing PCV systems, and it's no wonder these SUVs flood repair shops from Texas to Ohio. Dealers know the pattern. Many refuse to take them as trade-ins unless they've had a full engine rebuild, and those that do often slash prices just to move them. In the used market, the Equinox sits, sometimes for months, because buyers have learned what that 2.4 badge really means: trouble. I once spoke with a mechanic in Michigan who said, "If I had $1 for every Equinox I've seen with a dead engine, I could buy one, and then immediately junk it." That pretty much sums it up. So, while the Equinox might look like a bargain SUV on the lot, the reality is brutal. Dealers are practically giving them away because nobody wants to inherit someone else's engine disaster. And if GM dropped the ball here, wait until you see what their professional-grade sibling did even worse: the GMC Acadia. Number 6. GMC Acadia. The GMC Acadia was sold as the professional-grade alternative to the Chevrolet Equinox. Same size, same engine options, but a fancier badge and higher price tag. Buyers thought they were getting something more refined, more durable. But what they really got was the same problems in a more expensive package. At the heart of the trouble is that same 3.6-liter V6, a motor notorious across the US for timing chain failures, oil leaks, and water pump breakdowns. When that timing chain stretches, it doesn't just trigger a check engine light, it can destroy the engine entirely. Repair bills easily hit $4,000 or more, and that's if you catch it in time. Add in transmission issues and failing electronic modules, and suddenly professional grade sounds more like a sales joke than a slogan. Dealers know this too. Try trading in a high-mileage Acadia and you'll get offers that barely cover a new set of tires. Used car managers groan when one rolls into the lot because they know what's coming. A slow-selling SUV with a reputation for expensive failures. One technician from Arizona put it bluntly, "Every Acadia that hits my shop feels like déjà vu. Same leaks, same noises, same owners asking why it's falling apart." That's why even GMC loyalists are jumping ship for brands like Toyota or Honda. And speaking of bad reputations, our next SUV tried to copy Jeep's rugged image but ended up copying its worst flaws instead. Number 5. Jeep Compass. The Jeep Compass was supposed to bring adventure to the everyday American driver. The rugged looks of a Jeep without the price tag of a Wrangler. For a while it worked. You'd see them everywhere. Young families, commuters, even first-time buyers thinking they'd found the perfect compact SUV. But under the hood, the Compass hides an engine that mechanics across the US now call the oil eater. The 2.4-liter Tiger Shark engine burns oil at a shocking rate, sometimes a quart every 1,000 miles. Skip a top-up and you're on borrowed time. Piston seize, valves burn, and suddenly you're looking at a $4,000 engine replacement before hitting 90,000 miles. Chrysler knew it was bad enough to face class action lawsuits and extended warranties, but the reputation stuck. I met a used car dealer in Pennsylvania who said flat out, "If someone trades in a Compass, I don't even open the hood. I just call the auction." That's how toxic this SUV's reputation has become. And it's not just the engine. The transmission is rough, the electronics are glitchy, and interior quality feels years behind the competition. As a result, resale values cratered. Compass models that sold new for over $25,000 now sit on used lots for under $8,000, and still struggle to sell. It's the kind of SUV that looks adventurous on the outside but leaves your wallet begging for mercy. But if you think Jeep owners have it rough, the next SUV takes luxury disappointment to a whole new level. One that made thousands of American buyers swear off European brands for good. Number 4. Land Rover Discovery Sport. Few SUVs have fallen from grace as fast as the Land Rover Discovery Sport. It arrived in America with a promise: luxury design, British charm, and go-anywhere capability. For a brief moment, it worked. You'd see them in upscale suburbs, proudly parked next to German rivals. But behind that prestige badge lies one of the most feared words in the used car market: Land Rover reliability. Owners across the US report a cascade of problems before 80,000 miles. Engines that overheat, transmissions that slip, and electronics that seem to have minds of their own. Sensors fail, infotainment systems freeze, and air suspensions collapse without warning. One owner from Florida told me his Discovery Sport spent more time at the dealership than in his driveway, and every visit came with a 4-figure repair bill. Even basic maintenance is pricey. Oil changes can hit $300, and when something serious breaks, like the turbo or timing system, you're looking at $5,000 to $8,000. The result? Used values have cratered. Dealers across America admit they hate taking them on trade because they sit unsold for months. It's a shame, really, because when it runs, the Discovery Sport is comfortable, capable, and genuinely enjoyable. The problem is, it rarely stays that way. For many buyers, it became a luxury experience they couldn't afford to repeat. And if you think the Brits have reliability issues, wait until you see what one American luxury brand managed to mess up even worse. With a transmission so bad, some dealers stopped stocking it altogether. Number 3. Chrysler 200. The Chrysler 200 looked like a comeback story for American sedans. Sharp design, good safety ratings, and an optional all-wheel drive system. For a moment, it even felt like Detroit was fighting back against imports. But then came the 9-speed automatic transmission, and everything unraveled. This ZF-designed gearbox was supposed to make the 200 smoother and more efficient. Instead, it became a national headache. Owners across the US complained of harsh shifts, sudden jerks, and transmissions that slipped into neutral while driving. Chrysler dealers were swamped with warranty claims, software updates, and angry customers who'd had enough. A mechanic from Ohio told me, "The 200 is like déjà vu. Same transmission problems, different customer, every week." Even simple fixes were complicated. The transmission sits buried deep in the engine bay, so labor costs skyrocket. A full rebuild can cost $4,000 or more, which on a car worth half, that makes zero financial sense. The damage to Chrysler's reputation was permanent. Resale values collapsed, and production quietly ended just a few years later. Try trading one in today, and you'll see why. Most dealers will steer you toward a used Camry or Accord instead. What's worse? The same transmission found its way into other vehicles, spreading the pain across multiple brands, and one of them, coming up next, took those same problems and made them even more expensive. Number 2. Jeep Cherokee. If the Chrysler 200 was a transmission disaster in disguise, the Jeep Cherokee made it painfully public. Marketed as a rugged yet refined SUV for American families, the Cherokee promised adventure, comfort, and that trail-rated confidence Jeep is famous for. But under the hood sat the same 9-speed ZF automatic, and it turned the dream into a daily frustration. Drivers across the U.S. began reporting rough shifts, gear hunting, and sudden lurches forward, sometimes at stoplights, sometimes merging onto highways. One Arizona owner said his brand-new Cherokee felt like it couldn't decide what gear it wanted to be in, and the dealer's fix was always the same: another software update that didn't solve much. By 60,000 miles, things got worse. Some gearboxes failed completely, while others refused to engage reverse or park correctly. Even simple repairs were costly because of the transmission's complexity, and many shops didn't want to touch it at all. Replacements can run between $4,000 and $6,000, often exceeding the SUV's resale value. It's a shame because the Cherokee actually drives well when it works, but when it works is the key phrase. Dealers now struggle to move used examples, especially 2014 to 2018 models, because buyers have read the horror stories. If the Cherokee taught Americans one thing, it's that not every Jeep is built to last. And while it's bad enough to have your SUV hunt for gears, the next car on this list made shifting gears an Olympic event in frustration. Number 1, Ford Focus. Few cars have left a scar on American trust quite like the Ford Focus with the PowerShift transmission. When it launched, Ford promised European-style performance with American affordability. What drivers got instead was one of the most infamous transmission failures in modern U.S. automotive history. The PowerShift was a dual-clutch automatic meant to improve fuel economy. But for thousands of American owners, it did the exact opposite. It destroyed faith in the brand. Shuddering on takeoff, slipping between gears, or jerking violently in traffic became normal. Ford called it characteristic behavior. Drivers called it dangerous. I remember a woman from Indiana who said her Focus stalled in the middle of an intersection with her kids in the back, twice. The dealer told her to give it time to adjust. What she got instead was a $3,000 repair bill after the warranty expired. She wasn't alone. Class action lawsuits piled up, buybacks followed, and Ford's reputation for reliability took a nosedive. Even now, you'll find used Focus models sitting on lots across America for dirt cheap prices. Dealers don't want them, mechanics don't trust them, and buyers who do their research steer clear. It's the perfect example of how one bad transmission can sink an entire car's legacy. So, after everything we've seen, from CVTs that fail early to luxury SUVs that self-destruct, one thing's clear. In the U.S. used car market, transmission trouble isn't just a repair issue, it's a resale killer. Because once Americans lose faith in a car's gearbox, no dealer discount in the world can save it. And there you have it. 8 cars that prove one simple truth. In America, a bad transmission can kill a good car faster than anything else. From Ford's doomed PowerShift to Nissan's fragile CVTs and Jeep's glitchy 9-speed, each of these vehicles became a warning label on wheels. They weren't just unreliable, they destroyed the trust of millions of everyday drivers. Here's the crazy part. Most of them looked like great deals when new. Slick marketing, strong warranties, good MPG, all hiding the mechanical chaos underneath. Dealers loved selling them back then, but now they can't give them away. Used lots across the country are filled with just serviced or low-mileage bargains that nobody touches. Americans have learned the hard way that cheap up front often means expensive forever. So what should you buy instead? Stick with the transmissions that built a reputation, not broke one. Toyota's 6-speed automatics, Honda's tried-and-true torque converters, and the bulletproof units found in Lexus and Mazda models. They may not be flashy, but they'll still be shifting smoothly long after these disasters are off the road. Now I want to hear from you. Did you ever own one of these cars? Drop a comment and tell us how long your transmission lasted, or how far it didn't. your story could save another American from making the same expensive mistake. And if this video helped you dodge a financial bullet, hit that like, tap subscribe, and ring the bell. Because next week, we're flipping the script with 10 used cars that'll outlast anything on the road.